Hello, everybody. Welcome to Kaleidoscope of the Arts. Today, I am having a very special show. We have an on location with our lovely Michele Moore. But first, Marie is not here today because she has surgery. She was unfortunately diagnosed with breast cancer. It's very early stage, that it's very fortunate for all of us that they caught it early. Um, she will be out for a little while. After she has her surgery, she'll have other treatments, but our thoughts and prayers are with her. She asks that I please remind everybody to please get mammograms, ladies, if anything, it could save your life. Um, we are coming today from the Bishop West Realty Tower at 97.5 FM WKDW Radio. Kaleidoscope the Arts is brought to you from Wendy Namack, who is a financier that is here in Northport. She's also been part of our art center for a long time. Her business is Namack Portfolio Investment Professionals, LLC. Her HTTPS is www.namac.com. Her phone number 941-429-2911, and her email is wendy@namac.com. Wendy's a wonderful woman. She does so much for our community, and we truly appreciate all that she does for the Art Center here, as always supporting us in our things that we have for our community. And I just have one event before we go on with our show to talk about. The Northport Art Center is having a fashion luncheon at Heron Creek Golf and Country Club at 5301 Heron Creek Boulevard at Northport, Florida here. This Sunday, April 3rd. It starts at 11:30 and tickets are $45. We're going to have a fashion show and all kind of other fun events. And I hope that you all come to our website at northportartcenter.org and look into it and check out what's going on and buy tickets. Thank you. So, no further ado, we're going to go on location with the beautiful Michele Moore.
Hey, Cindy! We're coming to you live today from Punta Gorda. Did you know there's a military heritage museum? You can ride in this helicopter. No, you can't. You can't. I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh, it's so great to be here today. We are installing the Art of War exhibit here by Phillip Moore at the Military Heritage Museum. If you'll give me a second, we're going to turn the beat around. We're coming in for a tour. People, yes, they're closed on Mondays to the public. However, we've been invited in, and it is a wonderful place. It's a lot more than I expected, I got to tell you, but it's so fantastic to be here. If anyone doesn't know what the Art of War is, it is an 18-piece exhibit by my lovely husband, Phillip Moore, who is an Iraq war veteran, and he has painted 18 of his own photos from Iraq, Balad, and Mosul. He is colorblind, and it tells the story of the healing power of art that we are surrounded with here at the Northport Art Center. We love it. So today, we are excited to say that we have installed the Art of War exhibit, and we are live on the radio, Lance. I love you. Hi, Lance. And this is Lance. Hi, Lance. Say hi to everyone.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Lance, will you tell us about this wonderful room where we've installed this Art of War exhibit?
Yes, actually, a better spokesman for the museum would be its director,
Gary Butler. Hi, Gary.
Hi, Michele. Thank you for that great introduction. Thank you, Lance, too.
Exactly. We are in the war room. Is that right?
No, this is actually called the Hall of Heroes.
Okay.
And we're certainly excited and honored, humbled to have the Art of War exhibit here at the Military Heritage Museum. If you would like, let me kind of put it into context as to why this is so special here at the museum. You know, we were founded back in 2001 by a number of veterans who had been in VFW and American Legion halls, and they had accumulated a number of artifacts, uniforms, helmets, maybe some weapons, and wanted to put a place together where they could put them on display. So the very first location was here in Punta Gorda in Fisherman's Village, in a small storefront towards the end of the pier, if you're familiar with Fisherman's Village. And I think it was about 800 square feet, and that's where it all began. And opened up on December 7th, Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day, back in 2001. And over the years, it just grew and grew, and more artifacts came. And one of the important parts of the museum was the volunteer involvement of veterans, and they just continued to grow that museum. It took for about 2 years. It moved to a different location, and then realized that the right location was Fisherman's Village. So it was there all the way through 2019, and it was in late 2018 that we got together, and the landlord of the property that we're in now offered us this particular building, and we said, what a great opportunity. Actually, that's about when I came on board, and to rethink what we could do with this new facility. We did. We rethought how a museum should be put together, and what we could do with more than just focusing on the artifacts and the veterans that tell the stories. So Military Heritage Museum moved 2 blocks away to this beautiful, almost 18,000 square foot facility, and it's just a very, very different, unique museum. So a couple of things about, as you mentioned, we are in the Hall of Heroes. So this is about those who served. The museum is not so much about history. We're called the Military Heritage Museum for a reason. We focus in on those who have served, those that have what they did, what it was like to serve, what it was like to be in combat, and we focus in on military history, all 5 branches, traditional branches. The Space Force, we're kind of waiting for that to kind of evolve. But right now, the 5 traditional branches, and throughout all of military history. So pre-Revolutionary War is when we began our stories here, and continue through modern conflicts as well. I could go on because there's so many nuances about the museum, but let me just give you some highlights. So it's a very interactive museum. In addition to the artifacts, and we've added quite a few more artifacts and dioramas, we also obviously have increased the number of volunteers. We have well over 100 veterans that volunteer here, as well as a number of civilians. We also have added graphics. So in addition to looking at it all, you also get to have some interpretive graphics telling the story of what happened, a lot of the individuals, their background stories that are featured here in the museum. And then we've added some audio visuals. So throughout the museum is documentaries that play, and testimonials from veterans who give us firsthand testimony of what it was like to serve in wars going back to World War II. So we've got a lot of stimulating content that helps people understand these stories of these individuals. And then lastly, there's the computer interactive activities. So to take it to a 21st century type approach, especially appealing to young people, we have flight simulators for real professional flight simulators that volunteer veterans help you with experiences on these simulators. We have virtual reality activity area. I think we have 4 or 5 different experiences in there, like jumping out of a plane with special forces. So kind of that experience is pretty neat. And our laser range, you get an opportunity through using laser weapons that replica military weapons, and get to actually feel how they work. And then, of course, there's the galleries, these 6 large galleries that focus in on a number of different aspects of the military history and the branches that we represent. Our theater, let me just touch on our theater. So I think we're known as much for the galleries as we are for the theater. So we have this beautiful 247-seat theater that we do a lot of things in. We do a documentary every afternoon while the museum's open at 1 o'clock. It's usually represents the theme of the month. Currently, it's Vietnam Veterans Appreciation Month, so we're featuring a lot of documentaries telling the story of those who served during the Vietnam War. We also do lectures in our library. So we have a library that includes more than 6,000 books and periodicals. We also have classroom lectures that take place in there. The theater, going back to that, number of shows, musical shows, some military themed. We do a Bob Hope USO style show every year around the holidays, and some other patriotic shows on Memorial Day, Veterans Day. So, and then we do the just some great shows just for fun, like tribute shows. Altogether, probably about 30 to 40 performances in the theater each year. So it's an amazing place, and certainly I think those who come here truly leave more honored and respectful of those who have served.
Gary, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Would you like to talk to us about this room? This room, when we walked in, it's quite impressive, and we're so humbled to be on exhibit here. But the room is so much more.
Yeah, it is. In this room, we have a lot of exhibits that are focused in on what we call the Hall of Heroes, but it's focused in on those who have served that have some kind of a very important or unique or special recognition. So at the center of the room is the Medal of Honor exhibit. We have 2 medals of honor.
All right, I'll take you guys there.
Yeah, let's go take a look at that.
Let's go take a look at that. Wow.
And it's not, these are not easy to get. You have to meet a lot of security requirements before you can have a Medal of Honor on loan from the Department of Defense. But we have Army, and we have the Congressional Space Medal of Honor, which a lot of people haven't seen or probably even aware of. But we begin the room with the Revolutionary War. These are unique stories. We have mannequins that represent those stories, or all individuals. Probably about, I think there's about 16 mannequins with stories here in this room, and telling all kinds of about what they did when they served. And some of them were incredible stories, and some are just reflective of why that story should be told.
This is wonderful.
And we represent, we try to represent the diversity of the military here in the museum. So our military is very diverse, both in race and in culture, and we try to reflect that. We tell the stories of women who have served, and some of the great stories of folks from here in Florida and what they've done.
Well, we are happy today to have Sergeant Phillip Moore, who's taking pictures here with us today. And so we'll bring you in. Mr. Moore, husband of mine, he is also my husband. Will you tell us about the Art of War?
Yes. So over 3 different deployments to Iraq, from Baghdad, Balad, and Mosul. I kept a kind of a documentation of photographs, and I didn't really have anything to do with them until I started painting with soft pastels just about a year ago. So the Art of War is an 18-piece exhibit. It's from the Northport Art Center. It's on display here at the Heritage Museum, and everything is a little askew because of the fact that I'm colorblind. So some of the colors are actually a little bit more vivid on these, but each one has a description with the original photo, and that way you can see the difference in the photo and the painting. The way I meant to describe these to everybody is in a relatable fashion that doesn't have to decipher any sort of military acronyms or abbreviations. And they're all really good stories. It's something that kind of brings an insight to deployments and positions of what we do in a maneuver platoon to take up the security around the bases that we are staying. So
it's wonderful. Will you talk to us about your beautiful calendar?
Yeah, so I took 12 of these paintings and got them scanned, and I made a calendar. So the folks that have the calendars, God bless you for participating, but come on out and see the exhibit because there's still 6 more paintings that you haven't seen yet. But the calendars, the 2022 calendars, they're compiled of 12 of these paintings. And so we've been selling those since October, and all of the money that is raised from these calendars is going for an art scholarship for veterans to be able to utilize in any fashion that they choose in a way that they need to get art therapy. So when it comes down to classes or supplies, it's all to benefit veterans to use art therapy as a coping tool, as I have. So I just wanted to provide that because it's been so therapeutic to me as well.
Where can they find more information about your beautiful program?
Well, you can go to the Northport Arts Center website. It's northportartscenter.org. Okay, and that will describe everything under Art of War. Look for Art of War, and it'll describe everything and all of the events that have transpired in a sequential fashion since then.
What kind of events that have happened in sequential fashion, Mr. Moore?
Well, I was just telling Gary a few minutes ago, I actually just talked to my old principal from my high school. And so it's in a sense of giving back to people that have gotten me here. So within a lot of phone calls, there's been a lot of things that have transpired. And so we've been on Fox. I was on Fox News. I did the interview for the Veterans History Project for the Library of Congress. And then in addition to that, I've also been in a couple of newspapers. And the congressman from Florida District 17, Congressman Greg Stubbe, commissioned me to recreate one of these paintings for his office in Washington, D.C.
I do believe.
I hope I didn't miss you.
I know there's a lot going on, Mr. Moore. Mrs. Moore can tell the rest of the story. She's really nice. Now, I'm given to understand that that the Veterans History Project is also a program that happens here at the Military Heritage Museum in Punta Gorda, right?
You're absolutely right. You know, we have a lot of storytellers, and one of the important parts of telling your stories here at the volunteers here at the museum is to tell your own story. And so we joined up with the Veterans History Project, and back in about almost 3 years ago. Today we have about 40 oral histories that have been recorded, and through a Witness to War Foundation, which is another counterpart. And we're now working closely with the Library of Congress, preparing for veterans their packages, because it's a very, I would say complicated, but certainly is a detailed process to take the oral history, to get the documentation with it, and then you forward it on to the Library of Congress, Washington, D.C., who then do with it. But the museum has been designated what they call a connector site. So we are one of the few here in Florida that are designated to be a place where you can be taped. And we encourage other veterans like Sergeant Moore to take the time and share your story. Now, I always say to the volunteers here, it's wonderful you tell your story firsthand, right? It's nothing like a firsthand story. But what about, your grandchildren and their grandchildren? That story that you tell, can be passed down from generation to generation, and be seen all over the world, right? Because it's online. And so it's take the time, let others hear that story so that they know, future generations know what happened. What happened when you served, why it happened, and perhaps we can learn from those who have served and not make mistakes that we seem to continue to make, and get better as a nation, as a country, and perhaps as a world.
Thank you so much. Is there any other programs here at the Military Heritage Museum where not only veterans, but maybe civilians can get involved with?
Well, we do, and this is such a perfect fit, and we appreciate the Northport Arts Center for making this possible, because it's telling your story through art is just one of those incredible opportunities, especially if it's a therapeutic way of helping veterans with their challenges in using art, or whether it's a flight simulator, or whether it's performing live performances of poetry. All of that we've tried to integrate here at the museum. We even have other veteran support groups that meet here that we sponsor, and like Project Healing Borders, which is uses fishing, and specifically fly tie fishing, as a therapeutic method. So it just fits in with our whole mission here, which is to share the heritage of our military, both past and present, and currently present is how do we take care of our veterans that have served, so that there any of their challenges that we can help them cope, move forward, and continue to contribute to our great country. Those who serve and those who still serve, and those who still serve is giving back, even though they've already given so much, is to give back. And so we're excited. Our volunteers, over 100 veterans volunteer here, and each of them finds a way to give back, and that makes I think them feel better, gives them purpose, but it also helps our visitors understand fully, truly what they've truly done to sacrifice for this country.
Thank you, Gary. Phillip Moore, what does it mean for you to have your exhibit here? Because I know it means a lot to me, so I'd really like to hear what it means to you.
I'm nervous. I hope everybody likes it.
Oh,
Everybody likes it. I hope people don't think that the whole weird color scheme is just a whole ploy. I'm not sure. I'm very honored and I'm very proud, and I couldn't be more grateful for the opportunity.
Well, we have a whole hour to fill. We got 40 more minutes to go, so you guys got to do some talking.
Let me just add,
Yes, sir.
let me just touch on what you said. There is many ways using art, right, to tell a story. And I think that when our visitors come here and they see this, it's not just about the art, Phillip. It's about, what does the art represent? What is the story he's trying to tell through the art? So it's a gift. What he's done is created a gift to those that have come here. And throughout our museum, we've incorporated art. So it's not your typical. It's just not your typical history museum. We incorporate the many ways you tell your stories. So he has just added so much more to it. So I think, and we're going to add his oral history here too. So when people, visitors come here and see the artwork, they'll also be able to listen and hear him as he describes why he chose this particular art and why he chose this particular method to the pastels to tell his story, and the uniqueness about his story related to colors. So I do think that it is going to be phenomenally well received, because it just adds to the whole impact that this museum has on people. And I will tell you now, this museum has tremendous impact on people who come here and continue to come back here and find ways to honor those who serve. It's part of our vision is that if you come here and you experience what we've tried to create here, that you leave here changed. And demonstrating that change would be honoring a veteran, putting a flag on a grave, young people writing cards, which they do. We have a big, huge banner in the front atrium signed by every student at a local elementary school that they gift into the museum to honor veterans. So yeah, this is exactly what the museum needs, is this type of exhibit. And I do hope we get, once we've shared it with our visitors, the opportunity for it to be shared with other venues as well, as it continues to impact other people and other veterans who have served. Because there are probably many out there that if they took advantage of art therapy, I think they too would be, they would find it very, very helpful and very therapeutic.
This is a wonderful time to plug once again this wonderful Northport Art Center's Veterans Art Scholarship. Visit northportartcenter.org and their Art of War menu, and all the way at the bottom you will find a way to sign up for this wonderful scholarship. It's going to be a personalized experience, because we've rounded out a wonderful committee to take a look at all of the applicants that come in, to make sure that you do have a wonderful and just personalized experience through the Veterans Art Scholarship. We have an entire class curriculum to choose from, and you can also do Zoom. So you can take classes at the Northport Art Center all over the world. So I guess gave you guys a sneak peek of all 18 paintings that you will only see if you visit the Military Heritage Museum, and it will be on exhibit until the end of June. Is that right? That'd be until the end of June. So we're really, really excited to be here. Dee Dee, where's Dee Dee? I think that she is busy, but we have more questions. I'm not sure. Mr. Moore.
Yes.
I understand that you have won the prestigious Pest Vet of the Year award. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So I work for a pest and wildlife company, and in the whole nation of the pest industry, they have a prestigious award that they give to veterans for giving back to other veterans in their community as well. So this year I was humbled to be chosen for this award, and it's going to take place in Washington, D.C. So I will be there to not only receive the award for this, but also be able to visit Congressman Greg Stubbe's office in the Capitol and visit the painting that he commissioned for me. So I'll be able to actually get in there and take a photograph with the painting to be able to represent the Northport Arts Center in DC. It's just an honorable thing. So the award is fantastic. The icing on the cake is to go see the painting again. And just riding this ripple effect so far. It's the wave has been fantastic. So.
Thank you. Gary, should we take a little tour of that front gallery maybe? That would be amazing because I love it, because we have about 30 more minutes. And this place is just cannot be taken in all at once, I have to say.
Sure, we can, we'll take a look at the front gallery, and then if we still have time, I'll take a walk through our regular galleries. That's fine.
All righty.
In the main atrium, we call it, when you walk in, is a rotating exhibit. Every month we have a different theme. February, Black History Month, and we focused in on the 94 Black Medal of Honor recipients and had portraits for everyone. So it was an amazing display. This month, March, is, as I mentioned earlier, Vietnam War Veterans Appreciation Month. So we have a very dedicated exhibit dedicated to them. And it's very interactive, so take a look.
Yes.
Now, Mondays we are closed, so we don't see a lot of people here today.
That's right. We got the special.
We do.
Yes.
We use Mondays as a way to update the exhibits and change any out in the museum, as well as clean and get ready for the guests to come in. So in this particular case, if you come here, you'll see a lot of information, but they're all very much focused on individuals. You know, a lot of the artifacts that we have in the museum come from individuals, and so we try to research them and tell their story. We also share stories of folks that distinguish themselves, veterans that distinguish themselves in the Vietnam War, and tell their stories. So lots of stories here. There's probably over 60 different unique stories on these walls. And they focus on the different battles you can see here. We talk a little bit about Hamburger Hill, a very poignant battle that took place, very difficult challenge, and then the Tet Offensive and fall of Saigon. So lots of history about it.
This is an incredible exhibit. This was donated by an Eagle Scout project?
Yeah, all the walls. So all the walls last fall. As I mentioned earlier, the museum's designed to influence people, and influence them could be, as you said, honoring veterans, but it's also about do we have artifacts to donate to the museum, volunteering at the museum, donations to the museum, participating in the museum, and so this young man. Was ready to work on his Eagle project and had been here and approached us about doing something. So he built us those wonderful displays. Now I mentioned about being interactive, so you can see here we have some photograph screens that change out every now and then.
Oh, yes, this is fantastic. So this tells the story of Dave Martins and William Pitzenberger. Looks like I didn't pronounce that too well. I really encourage, if you guys are anywhere near Punta Gorda, to come and check out the Military Heritage Museum. It is actually the first time that I have the honor to visit, and I'm quite blown away by everything. It'll take a few visits to take everything in. So the Art of War is not the only exhibit that you'll see. It's a wonderful place to really honor our veterans from the past and for now and the future.
Yeah, I think you're right on, Michelle. It's definitely a day trip. I mean, the average visitor spends between 3 and 4 hours here, some longer. We're right next to Fisherman's Village, so some pick up their lunch, and then have lunch out on our veranda outside. We have a seating for over 50 outside, and then of course inside as well.
So what's going on at the Military Heritage Museum? What's your next event?
So we this month, let's see, we have a couple big events going on this month. First off is National Genealogy Day. You know, people say Genealogy Day at the museum, at the Military Heritage Museum. Actually, it's partnered with the Daughters and Sons of American Revolution, and so to be part of those organizations, you trace your lineage back to the Revolutionary War period. So somebody who was active during that war, could have been a civilian or military as well, and so that's so we've kind of partnered with them. One of the activities you can do at the Military Heritage Museum is research your ancestors or loved ones or your own military records. So we do have a license with with an organization called Fold 3, and that allows us to have access to the database of military records. And so we help our volunteers in the library help visitors who are interested in that go back and try to search as much as they can about maybe it was their great grandfather who fought in World War II or World War I, and they really want to learn more about what he or she did. And so this is National Genealogy Day. That's where we partner with them, and we invite people in to the museum and to learn more about research and how do you go about researching your not only your own history but researching military history. So that's a neat day. That's the third Saturday in March, and so trying to think of the date of that. It'll come to me in a minute. I think it's the 19th. I think it's the 19th.
Yes, it is.
19th.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I had to get the brain to work a little bit.
We're not doing calendars. It's Military Heritage, not calendar heritage.
That's
There's
right.
a whole other show for that, sir.
And then we end the month with a big day on March 29th. So that'll be Veteran Appreciation Day. It's going to be a full day of activities. I mean, there's a post over here.
Is it on your website too?
And it's on our website.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And I just got your newsletter. So how do people join to get your newsletter?
Well, the best way to get on our mailing list is just email the following: info at militaryheritagemuseum.org. So if you email us at info and say just put us on your mailing list, we go ahead and right away put you on our mailing list. I think we have we're over 6,000 now on our mailing list.
There's
email list. Yeah, so it's really good. And also on our website, militaryheritagemuseum.org, is a number of other information that would be helpful, including our hours, which are Tuesday through Saturday. I mean, our days are Tuesday through Saturday. Our hours are 10 to 4. And we encourage you to come a little earlier to make sure you get flight times, because we give away flight times for the flight simulators.
Oh, and is the flight times available to anyone who visits, or do you have to be a veteran?
Nope, that's open to every visitor over the age of 10.
So I am not over the age of 10, so I won't be able to fly. But as soon as my 10th birthday comes, I'm coming.
You can come to fly. That's
Yes,
right.
I'm gonna bring Dee Dee. I think we would have a lot of fun doing that.
I would say that the museum was designed to be family friendly. So don't worry if your youngsters are under the age of 10, because we have a number of activities. We have scavenger hunts that we've created that are age appropriate, so elementary and then high school level. And that's a lot of fun for the kids to go around searching for certain artifacts. Also helps them learn, because remember, we're an educational-based institution. So, we've designed some learning experiences for our youth. So there are some the virtual realities open to younger students as well. So there's a number of activities that can be done for kids. Matter of fact, let's come on over here.
All right.
This is our kids zone. So we've created programming, for kids of school age, and so in this case, it's to the theme Vietnam. So they learn a little bit about the Vietnam War. They even get some army men.
Army man.
Yeah, if they want to take one home.
Yeah.
We create these kits. So these are kits that we give away. So part of the admission for kids, and on Saturday the admission for kids is only $4 for youth under the age of 15. So we get a lot of young people that come here on Saturdays, but they get a kit, they get activities that they can do that gives them helps them learn more about, in this case,
the Vietnam War.
Vietnam War. Yeah.
So we see what else we've got around the corner. It looks like, which is my favorite actually, is all the radios. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, we've got a history of communication that dates back to pre-World War II. So
anyone who's listening to this show on the radio on Wednesday when we're live, or not live, we're pre-recorded actually, we're live now. But if you want to take a look at the videos, they're going to be posted in several different locations, because we are videotaping this great show here at the Military Heritage Museum, so that you can take a look at just a taste of what you might see when you come visit.
yeah, you know Morse code, and you've got some ships radio, and just a lot of different.
And there's my Army guy. There's yeah, there he is. Okay. I really, really liked the ships and models. So Gary did give me a nice little tour, and we have to keep talking because it is a radio show, so we can't have no dead air.
So one of the Art of War, this was a original art piece that was one of the murals that was later destroyed by Hurricane Charlie, but this was the original artist rendering for that we were able to.
We know who Liz Hutchinson is. She recently passed away, God bless her, and she donated quite a lot of books and art and supplies to the Northport Art Center.
Very
so
nice.
Now that I saw Phillip is a big fan, I can't wait till he sees this.
Yeah, now you know we have one of her original renderings for one of the murals.
God bless her.
It just doesn't exist today.
No, and she's passed away just recently. So Phillip is a big fan of Liz. We do have, I believe, a collection of 3 paintings, and I'm going to bring him over here to see this. So here we have the Age of the Tall Ships.
That's right.
And this was donated to?
These were donated to us when we opened up in this new facility. One of the things that by building a modern, 21st century type museum, professionally built and designed, that we're getting a lot of outstanding artifacts. And this was truly is a professionally built display of tall ships, going all the way back to pre-Revolutionary War, going back to the 1500s. But it does reflect the U.S. military and Navy when it first built. Obviously, got its origins from other countries. And of course, we do have the USS Constitution as part of this collection. It's just, you will find it in the War of 1812 exhibit. But we do have the USS Constitution.
So this beautiful museum does take us through time. It's like a time machine.
It sure does.
Really
It sure
does. Folks, I do encourage you to take some time to come out to the Military Heritage Museum. It is open 10 to 4, Tuesdays through Saturdays, and Saturdays, children under the age of 10.
Children under the age, children under the age of 15, it's a
$4 to bring them in here, and what a wonderful, wonderful place. Do you want to show us the theater?
Sure.
Let's take a look at the theater. It was very impressive theater. So we encourage not only, goodness, the visual arts, but performing arts. So the Kaleidoscope of the Arts is about all the arts. So how many seats do we have here?
So it holds 247 guests. It was fully modernized back in 2020. We received a donation of $100,000 to specifically make the necessary improvements to the theater. And so what you see is the benefits of that. The technology is state of the art for a theater. So we can do pretty much every medium. We can do documentaries, movies, shows, plays. We've done all of that here.
And at 1 o'clock every day, we have a documentary that is dedicated to the theme of the month.
Right, and that's all part of the mission. Your mission gets you to everything. No nickel and diamond. You get to do everything here during the daytime when you come here. That's available, including the documentaries and the lectures and the activity areas upstairs, these flight simulators, virtual reality. So all of that is all part of it. So
all right. So let's turn this thing around and see if we can find Mr. Phillip Moore and see what they're up to over there. I think we lost Dee Dee because Dee Dee's busy. Okay, and here's Lance. Hey, Lance. Lance is a volunteer here. How long have you been a volunteer? We caught Lance.
About a year and a half.
But tell me about Lance.
Well, I'm a civilian volunteer here.
Do you want an army man?
Oh,
you can have my army man. I'll get another one. Thank you.
My war was Vietnam, but I was exempted because I was in graduate school at the University of Iowa. But this is my way of recognizing that since I didn't serve, somebody else served in my place. And I volunteer here to honor that person and all vets who fought in the conflicts, good conflicts and bad.
Well, thank you so much. What is your favorite exhibit here at the Military Heritage Museum?
Oh, it has to be the simulators.
I think that's my favorite too.
It is. That's just like Disney.
That'd be a long walk to take everybody up there, I have to tell you, but we do have an hour show to fill, so. Let's go find Phillip Moore, okay? And I'm gonna turn the beat around so no one gets dizzy. And we have to continue talking, which is wonderful because it is a radio show. So we do wanna just hit you guys up and let you know again about the Veterans Art Scholarship. Right now, we have just introduced a beautiful pottery class. Pottery class is for 7 seats for the veterans. So it's a veterans pottery class for 6 weeks. It's a 6-week course every Wednesday. It'll be starting at 1:30 on March the 13th. If you're interested, it is first come, first serve. We have put it out to all the veterans of the Veterans Heritage Museum, but it is free at an over $200 value to take this Veterans Pottery Workshop. You'll be working on tribal mask or any other type of mask you would like to make. We have 2 or 3 of our instructors, actually. We have Beth Hornick, we have Terry Cucci, and Kay Shuck that will be helping us with this class. So I'm looking for Phillip Moore in this wonderful room, and I got to tell you, I can't find him, but I'll show you guys around. This is a fantastic place. Here we have, looks like the Marines, a white. See, somebody's got to help me out here. Oh my goodness, Rick will check out all this stuff. Hey, Phil, what'd you think about this room? Okay. Well, this is a radio show, so we do have to talk. Yes. So how does walking and seeing all of this help make you feel?
Well, it just makes me recall all the different things that the gear that I was wearing, all the uniforms that were going through the different years. There's a couple of different uniforms that were different deployments.
So I'm given to understand that yours was something like this. So tell us about this.
So this was actually the first desert uniform that I had in Baghdad in 2004. So these were called DCUs, Desert Combat Uniform. Yeah. So the Gulf War was a little bit different than this. So basically, when we were wearing flags, people would ask us, these flags, why are these American flags on backwards on the shoulder over here? So you can see that this flag is actually backwards on the right shoulder. So if you were to fly a flag and run towards the battle, then the stripes would be on the back side of the flag. So we always wanted the stars to face the forward towards the battle, so it doesn't seem that we're actually running from it. So that's what the significance of that backwards flag is.
And this beautiful exhibit is looks like we have Pamela Miller. She was a Rear Admiral for the U.S. Navy Reserve, inducted March 6, 2020. So just recently, right here. Thank you, ma'am, for your service. What else can you tell us about this great room?
There are multiple generations, multiple different conflicts. There's multiple branches of service in here. All of the gear is authentic. I mean, all of it is definitely probably still usable as far as all of the equipment goes. But everything here is mesmerizing. It takes you back. It's super neat to see in person, and everything is represented here in a very professional manner, very respectful manner. So it is a lot to see. You probably have to take more than a day to actually see everything in here, but everything has a story to tell.
I was told that this was the uniform that the bugler was wearing, and I believe that, I don't know if that's the bugle, for John F. Kennedy. So that is very, very cool. So again, folks, the Military Heritage Museum is closed on Mondays. We just got a special invite because we were installing the Art of War. The Art of War is an 18-piece collection of paintings that Phillip Moore has rendered from photos he took in Baghdad, Mosul, and Balad.
That's right.
We encourage you to come and see this exhibit. It will be here until the end of June. We will have a reception set up, and so there will be more details to come. There will be a reception for it. And goodness, the news keeps coming. So we do try to keep our website current exactly, and to let you guys all know what's going on. You can check out a Fox News segment on the Art of War page at the Northport Art Center. You can read several news articles that have been written about the Art of War. And most of all, you can show your support by sharing this beautiful story and by possibly donating or buying a calendar. This helps veterans continue to cope with the post-traumatic stress disorder and find just another way to share their story, as Gary said. This is all about our veterans' stories and how they can tell us, tell us what happened out there and just give back, because that's what they do out there. They help. And so when they get home, that's all they're trying to find is a way to help each other. And so this has been a great way to help, huh, Phil?
Very much so.
Yes?
Absolutely. I just want to thank everybody that has been contributing to this point. I think I couldn't have done it without so many people. There's so many people that along the way have helped me become who I am. And so everybody that has contributed to this Art of War program, thank you so much. We're still riding the wave, and the ripple is still going, and I couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much for helping me help others as well.
Oh my gosh, I think we found Dee Dee, and guess what? She's got Karen with her. Let's turn that beat around so you guys can see us, and we'll just set it up right over here. Look, we found you. Where were you? I was so scared.
Michelle, you
I
did
was not really, no, I wasn't. I was like, what are we going to talk about now?
At the museum.
Oh,
It
my
was
goodness.
beautiful. I finally got my computer back on, and we
Oh,
all.
that's what it was, technical difficulties.
Yes.
Well, I have to tell you, you missed the whole tour. We're going to have to get hall passes. So if we can get the president to give us some hall passes, we can make it out here. Yeah, because I'm on a hall pass right now, but this one's only good for today.
We saw it all.
It was wonderful. It was upside down, but you know what? It was great.
Upside down, that works. We want to give you a custom experience here at the Military Heritage Museum. This is
Thank you
wonderful.
so much.
Yes.
Karen has been at the Military Museum, and she was telling me some of the impressions that she had had. So I was hoping that she could ask some questions and talk about her experience there.
Oh, sure. I'm going to bring the gang. I got the tripod up here. We're going to go ahead and do it gang style. How's that? Oh, here's Gary. We have the illustrious Karen Fristario. She was our previous president, and I think she has some questions for you.
Sure, happy to help.
Hi, how are you?
Well, I'm doing great. We're having a good time here.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love to come down there, and it's such a spiritual experience to go through the museum and to see everything that's there. My father was a World War II veteran, served in the Philippines, and I've been on 3 honor flights in a few years back. So that was one of the most amazing experiences, emotional and fun, and it was quite a honor to be able to do that.
Well, there's no question. We're doing an event next couple of weeks with the Honor Flight Society to help them raise the money to send more of our veterans to Washington D.C. to see the monuments. So it's a very unique opportunity.
That's fabulous.
Tell people that don't know about it
Yeah.
what happened, what it entailed.
I could talk about the honor flight just a little bit to people that don't know. I had the opportunity about 9 years ago to go on my first honor flight, and it's a long day. We fly out of at that time we flew out of Fort Myers. We did have an opportunity to meet our veteran, so we each had a veteran that we took responsibility for. And it was just an amazing journey. The support from people at both airports and how the veterans reacted to it going down those aisles, and there were bands and taking off on our flight. The fire departments were there shooting their water over the planes, and quite emotional. And then getting to Washington, they were there also to welcome the veterans, and the hoopla and it was just amazing. And the memories that they had and the memories I had will live with me for the rest of my life.
I'm sure they will.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Karen. Well, we want to remind you guys again, come out to the Military Heritage Museum anytime, Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 4. It's a beautiful place. Spend the whole day here. It'll be worth it. Or just come back again. And exactly, come and see the Art of War and maybe sign up for a class, you veterans out there. You can contact the Art Center for more information or give Gary a call. They'll point you in the right direction.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And we want to mention again about that veterans pottery workshop. We've got 7 seats to fill for the first 7 veterans that want to register for this great class. It is free of charge, and we're going to have a really great time.
Thank you. Thank you, Gary, very much. It was a fun time today looking at the museum. And it was great to learn more about where the Art of War is going to be and what has happened with Phillip. Thank you all for everything you do for their community.
Well, we appreciate the Art Center too, Northport Art Center, for really being the facilitators to make this all come together. So thank you for what you've done.
Okay. Well, We'll see you next week. Thank you very much and have a blessed time. And remember, always choose kindness because kindness really makes our lives so much better.
Thank you for joining us today. We wrap it up live. Punta Gorda, baby.
Take care. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.